Welcome to USA Health Claim Coach. My promise to you in every single explainer on this channel is this. By the time this lesson ends, you will know exactly what to do next. No confusion, no guessing, no wondering if you filled something out correctly, just clear, confident, step-by-step guidance from start to finish. That is what we do here every single day. So settle in, have your documents ready, and let's walk through today's lesson together, one step at a time. Today, we're tackling a feeling that, well, many of you probably know way too well. You open the mail, you see a medical denial, and your stomach just drops. It's frustrating, right? It's scary. But by the time we wrap up this explainer, you're going to have a crystal clear, actionable roadmap to fighting back. To start things off, I want you to really look at this number. Over 200 million Medicare claims get denied every single year. 200 million! That's massive! So if you've recently opened an envelope and read those dreaded words, Medicare has determined this service is not covered, please know you are absolutely not alone. That initial shock, totally normal. The healthcare system, it can feel huge, almost robotic, and a denial letter kind of feels like the final word on your care. But here is the secret, the thing that insurance contractors definitely don't go out of their way to tell you. That letter, it's not the end of the road, not even close.
Now, what is truly mind-blowing is the massive gap between these two realities. Out of all those millions of denials we just talked about, only 11% of patients ever actually choose to fight back and file an appeal. Just 11%. But for those who do, well, they have a staggering success rate of roughly 80%. Just let that sink in for a second. The overwhelming majority of people who challenge a Medicare denial actually end up winning. Honestly, those odds should make you a little angry about how the system works, but more importantly, they should empower you to pick up a pen and take action.
Okay, let's dive into our structured playbook. Today, we are going to cover 4 distinct steps. 1. Why claims get denied. 2. Gathering your documents. 3. The 5 levels of appeal. And 4. Crucial deadlines to know.
Section 1. Why claims get denied. Understanding the rejection.
All right, before we can fight the denial, we need to hit pause, take a deep breath, and figure out exactly why they said no in the first place. These are the most common culprits behind that dreaded rejection letter. Sometimes the reason is pretty complex, like a service being deemed not medically necessary. But very often, it's incredibly simple. A coding error literally just means someone at the doctor's office or hospital typed in the wrong billing code. Oops! A duplicate claim just means the paperwork was accidentally sent twice. So here is a massive pro tip to save you time. Before you file any formal appeal, make a simple phone call to your doctor's billing office. A lot of times, these administrative hiccups can be fixed by their staff without you ever needing to enter the formal appeals process.
Moving right along to Section 2, gathering your documents, building your case.
Now, if a quick phone call to the billing office doesn't fix the issue, you need to gather your paperwork. First, let's translate the jargon, because there's a lot of it. That piece of paper you got in the mail is going to have a specific name depending on your coverage. If you have original Medicare, it's called a Medicare Summary Notice, or MSN for short, and that comes every 3 months. But if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, it's called an Explanation of Benefits, or an EOB. Here's the deal. Whether you're holding an MSN or an EOB, do not throw it away. Both of these forms tell you the exact service that was denied, the reason code for the denial, and your deadline to file an appeal. Basically, this piece of paper is the starting point for your entire case.
Okay, so the most crucial point here is securing what we like to call the golden ticket. The absolute single most powerful document you can include in your appeal packet is a letter of medical necessity from your doctor. Listen, do not just assume your basic medical records are going to be enough. They usually aren't. You need your doctor to explicitly state your diagnosis, explain exactly why the denied service was absolutely required, and reference clinical guidelines. A short, vague note? That's not going to cut it. It needs to be detailed and direct. And when you send your appeal letter, this doctor's letter should be attached right behind it, front and center.
All right, Section 3, the 5 levels of appeal, climbing the ladder. So, with your documents organized and your golden ticket in hand, you enter a process that is actually designed to give you fresh eyes at every single stage. Let's look at how this builds through 5 distinct levels of escalation. Level 1 is a redetermination by your Medicare administrative contractor. Basically, a different person at the exact same company takes a second look at your claim. And get this, roughly half of all Level 1 appeals result in a reversal right then and there. If they say no, though, you move up to Level 2. That's a reconsideration by an entirely independent contractor. Then, Level 3 is an administrative law judge. Level 4 brings you to the Appeals Council, and finally, Level 5 is Federal District Court. The huge takeaway here, if you get a no at one level, you just keep climbing.
Every level brings a brand new reviewer who has the power to completely overturn the previous decision. Now, at Level 3, there is a major shift in the process. If you haven't won your case by Level 2, things move to an Administrative Law Judge, or ALJ. This takes your appeal totally out of a contractor's paperwork queue and puts it right into a formal legal setting handled by the Office of Medicare Hearings and Appeals. You can actually present your case, often just by telephone or video, and answer the judge's questions directly. But keep in mind, to reach this level, the denied amount actually has to meet a minimum monetary threshold. In recent years, that's been around $190. This stage is exactly where having a well-organized case with all your medical records beautifully paginated really pays off.
And that brings us to Section 4, Crucial Deadlines to Know, Beating the Clock. Listen closely to this part because this right here is where most people lose. You can have the absolute best medical evidence in the world, but if you miss a strict legal deadline, your appeal is just dismissed. Poof, gone. Looking at this timeline, if you have original Medicare, you have exactly 120 days from the date on your initial notice to file your Level 1 redetermination. But for Medicare Advantage, it is often a much shorter 60-day window. Missing that initial window is literally one of the most common and fatal mistakes you can make. And notice how the deadlines change as you climb that ladder? Level 2 gives you 180 days, but from Level 3 onward, you only have 60 days to file. Seriously, put these dates on your calendar the literal second you receive a letter. Do not wait until day 119 to start gathering your paperwork.
As we start to wrap up today's explainer, I really want you to remember these pro tips. First, act fast and get your doctor writing that letter of medical necessity immediately. Second, when you write your own appeal letter, be super polite but very specific. Make sure to cite the exact claim number and the reason for denial. Always keep copies of everything you mail and send it with tracking so you have solid proof. Also remember, you do not have to do this alone. You can get totally free one-on-one guidance from your state health insurance assistance program, or SHIP. Just call 1-800-MEDICARE to get connected. And above all else, never give up after a Level 1 denial. This system absolutely rewards persistence. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it means a denial letter is just the beginning of a conversation. It is definitely not the end of the road. You now have the roadmap, you know the deadlines, and you know the undeniable power of the golden ticket. So the only question left is, will you be part of the 11% who fight back and win? Go ahead, grab your paperwork, make that phone call to your doctor, and take that first step today.